Sports Smack.
Take advantage of it. Get up in here.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
You've been warned.
When I found out my son was smoking weed, I thought it was just part of adolescence.
But then I found out how powerful weed is now.
When teens use vapes or dabs, the potency can be 80 to 100% THC.
Use of high THC products by youth can cause hallucinations, cannabis-induced psychosis,
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts,
planning, and attempts.
Just Say No, KNOW. Go to justsayno.org today for the facts.
A public service message from Johnny's Ambassadors.
The best lineup of shows for your weekend is right here on ESPN 100.7, The Ticket. His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus media station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. The NCAA men's and women's selection committees voted to expand both the men's and women's college basketball tournaments to 76 teams starting next season. Both the Pistons and Thunder look to hold on to home court advantage when they each host Game 2s of their respective second-round NBA playoff series tonight. Detroit's home to a Cleveland team that has yet to win on the road this postseason, 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. OKC, coming off an 18-point win in the opener, hosts the Lakers. Knicks forward, OG Anunoby, right hamstring strain day-to-day. He's questionable for Game 3 against the 76ers tomorrow. ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
The New York Knicks are playing mind games with the Philadelphia 76ers when they list them day to day. Because if I'm in the front office of the New York Knicks, there's no way in hell I'm bringing them back for 3 and 4. Like, it's not no day to day. No, you're out. We'll see you for Game 5 if you're available. And if it's not that serious.
Word signed coach Charles Lee to a contract extension after a 25-win improvement this past season, and the team coming within a game of ending a lengthy playoff drought.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, the Wolves split the first 2 games of their series against the Spurs on the road. But did Game 2 prove they can't win the series? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even high earners, over 60%, have under $1,000 saved. But a new money move is making way. Welcome to the 24K Life, created by financial performance coach Derek Gant. The 24K Life is where high achievers master their money, sharpen their mindset, building unshakable confidence and wealth. If you're done with the survival mind and are ready to thrive, visit 24klife.org. The 24K Life. Be your best. Get the best. Leave nothing to chance.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Dude, not going to be no help going on from this place, period. I told you. I made it clear. Johnson.
Dude, you're an established professional broadcaster.
Yeah, with 20-plus years of experience. Wait a minute. Did he say because they going to start calling you a lie? Wait a minute. Did you say that? That's on the tape. That's on the tape. Get a copy of this show, Josh. Immediately. Get a copy of that. Then Schaefer said that.
Yeah, I'm a professional broadcaster.
I never have objections to most things you're saying. Have you ever noticed how I don't really go back and forth with you in objection mode and all that rigidity? We don't do it.
Weekdays 4 to 6, Black and White Sports, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio. Detroit strikes first, taking Game 1.
Cunningham, short corner, fadeaway, got it to go.
Can Cade Cunningham keep the momentum rolling on home court? Or will Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers punch back to tie the series at 1 apiece?
One-handed jam, Donovan Mitchell.
Game 2 of the Cavaliers and Pistons.
Pre-game is at 6:30. Tip-off is at 7 tonight here on Toledo's home for Hoops, ESPN 100.7, The Ticket.
Black and White Sports is now.
Trust and believe. It's something totally different. And stop with the Eminem, because Eminem's not one of the best either. And y'all can stop that.
Dre says he's the best on the mic. That's
Dr. Dre is a Fed, and so is Snoop. We covered this. Everybody fool with Dre and Snoop is dead or was locked up. I don't care what Dr. Dre said.
I'm just reporting.
Dr. Dre was wearing women's shoes before it was fashionable to do it as a guy.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
I know you're kind of busy just now, but I want to tell you some things I never told you.
I know sometimes I act stupid and I say stupid things, but you kept me around, and other people would have said, drop that bum. You give me respect. You know, it's hard for me to say these kind of things because that ain't my way. But if I could just unzip myself and step out and be someone else, I want to be you. You're real hot.
If the papers knew we were talking like this, they'd think we was crazy. Why you?
Because I'm the best and you need somebody to teach you different. You may not understand what I'm talking about now. I can appreciate that, but you will when it's over. Believe me. You will when it's over. You think I don't have any more?
You got nothing more to prove, do you?
Look, man, this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
I got a lot of more. Come on. Here we go again.
And we wish to show the American press a small portion of the advances.
What does all this do to enhance performance? It makes a man a better man. A great athlete, a super athlete. Though most of the world is ignorant. It's showtime! It's showtime! Come on. I wish to educate your country.
In great spirits tonight. He's really putting on a show for this capacity crowd.
Shall we have a demonstration?
Please do.
As you can see, the result's quite obvious. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Okay, it's a Thoughts of Practice Thursday. You guys, I think, will appreciate today's activities, of course, because of the obvious postseason considerations, but we are here on one of the great anniversaries of all time, sports consideration, as we welcome you today to the fastest $1.20 in sports, known as Black and White Sports. Good afternoon, everybody. As I mentioned, Thoughts of Practice Thursday. Good afternoon. My name is Andre of the Savages. Josh Burnham, he's here. Bizzle, what's up, sir? How are you doing? What's the word?
Happy anniversary.
Yes, it is. It is one of those. It's an iconic anniversary, Josh Burnham. It is a milestone. It's one of those culturally directive moments, Josh. I think.
Right up there with I Have a Dream and Hard Times, Daddy.
My man. No question, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know or were not aware, today is the anniversary of the Allen Iverson rant with respect to pregame activities and such. And so, we wanted to share. We'll look back at it at a point here today. But nonetheless, it's just interesting that, it's a big day in sports, as it turns out. I mean, it's a big day, too, because you don't want to be down 0-2 if you're the desolate Lakers, as you all say. You don't want to do that. You also, I don't know if you really care if you go down 2-0 if you're Cleveland, because you almost suspect tonight feels like it's another round of perhaps easy or simple money. I don't know if I pick against Detroit. Remember, we had an issue again. Game one, didn't want to get involved. Don't really want to get involved anymore in game two. But, if, like I told you, though, be careful. If you apply what you just got done witnessing the other night with respect to the Pistons and the Cavs, and if you've been listening to people talk over the, I guess, what is it now, Josh? That's 48 hours or whatever, I guess, in between these games or whatever. So this will certainly create dissonance in your cerebral frame. if you allow it. That is why we're here, to not allow that. Don't fall for bananas and tailpipes.
Nope.
So here we have tonight, we resume Sixers, Knicks, or excuse me, last night. What did I say tonight? I mean, last night, Sixers, Knicks, Timberwolves, Spurs. And the Spurs ended up covering, Josh. Remember, I said, I'm telling you, I told you, a lot of people would not have gone that route, feeling like Minnesota was going to, if nothing else, be highly competitive, and that 10 points or whatever it was, 9.5 points, I think, you know what I mean, we ended up seeing it. It might even been 10, whatever. But the point is, you have to ask yourself, why are they saying that? They don't just put things there just to deceive you on purpose. And I'm talking about the odds makers now. I'm not even talking about the foolishness going on with the NBA itself. I'm not referring to that. I'm just talking about the people who have, for years and years now, you know, and generations, been laying these lines down. And typically speaking, you end up having to respect these odds makers. You know what I mean? As much as you'll catch a break. That's our job, is to try to sniff out the break. Where can we get the value? Where can we catch them lunching? But typically, they don't lunch. And so a point spread like that yesterday on Minnesota just having one, that wasn't a hard pick to make. We did give you that one last night. We know this. As a matter of fact, I think we were 4-0, but I'll go with 3-4 just to play the humility page.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like we might have still been saying something Philly in the points, but I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like I still said maybe go Knicks money line, though, when it was all said and done. So I'm not sure. We may have to review, Josh. But I know that we did say Buffalo Sabres, and we said Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh, yeah.
We said that. We did say that. Even in my little tryst with Andy. So let's be clear. Whatever we did, we were 3-4, if nothing else. But in doing so, laying 9.5 with the Spurs was what ended up going off. So let's be advised as we get ready to dabble into tonight's affairs. Let's really be careful here. 877-909-1007 is the Bellemere Suites wake-up call line, and you know that calls, text, and so on brought to you there. Thank you very much, our friends in Perrysburg and, you know, suburban Atlanta. So, Josh, there's that. But okay, all right, man. It's the thoughts of practice Thursday. Should I bring him? Should we bring them now, or go ring the bell? You want to ring the bell?
Let's ring the bell and then bring back.
Oh, wait. Hold on. It's my bad too. I'm tripping. Hold on. Take this down for one. Get the Bellemere off of there. Match here this Thursday. So we will actually, Josh, I have some baseball conversation for Mr. Melzak. Yes.
That should be, as one would say, very entertaining.
Well, I hope so. And I hope informative and helpful for our hopes and dreams here locally, with respect to our exciting mud hens. And then, of course, the walleye have some things happening too. But, you know, we have some in-between days there.
Yeah.
But that's coming up too. So we'll talk to the big dog. Top of the hour for that, Josh. Right at about 5:05.
Yeah, should be very colorful.
Okay. But now, back to the thing. What are we doing? Let's ring the bell. We'll talk to Bonnie Features after that. We're into it. It's Black and White Sports. It is a Thursday. We appreciate everybody for hanging out, and we appreciate you for considering our guy. Anthony Butler is his name. Who's he? The master barber and stylist. Ladies.
Want to ring the bell?
All right. Ding, ding.
It's okay, though. We'll still start there. Sorry, Josh, you cut it all abrupt. Go ahead, change the tune there, Josh. Burn them down. Okay, ring the bell. Brought to you by our man, Anthony Butler. He is the master barber and stylist. Ladies, 5-star Google rating there, too, as well. 419-407-0880. Weekend is upon us, so you might want to consider how you're looking, getting ready to get out here and do things throughout your weekend, Glass City and otherwise. But here's the deal. We'll go mud hens here, Josh. I know we didn't necessarily script it here, but I'm not exactly sure because this is not what was in my program to talk to Matt about, and I don't necessarily want to get into salacious nonsense, with the big dog like that. But we certainly would be remiss if we keep, understating and overlooking even the fact that the Detroit Free Press has made it a heightened affair in discussing Tigers firing Gabe Alvarez from the top over inappropriate text to female co-worker is the report, Josh. This is Andrew Burkle from the Free Press.
Yep.
The Detroit Tigers allegedly fired AAA Toledo manager Gabe Alvarez for sending an inappropriate text message to a female colleague, according to a statement from Alvarez to ESPN. The Tigers announced the firing of Alvarez on Tuesday, May 5th, without much context, saying he was let go for a, quote, violation of club policy. I sent a single text message to a colleague that I intended as a lighthearted joke, Alvarez said in a statement to ESPN. Shortly after sending it, I recognized that the message was inappropriate and did not reflect the values and judgment I strive to uphold. Well, and immediately reached out to clarify my intent. I never intended to cause discomfort or offense. I regret that the message created this situation. Surely, this was an isolated incident and not reflective of my long-standing record of professionalism, respect for colleagues, and conduct over the course of my career. You see, I think these are the things that we have to keep. Oh, boy, this is tough, Mr. Alvarez. Alvarez was replaced, of course, as you all know, by Mike Hessman, who has been a hitting coach, of course, with Toledo since 23 and worked with the Tigers before that, accepting a demotion to the minor league staff after the 22 season. Oh, boy. There you have it, Josh. So now we know. We know what I mean, you could then go to try to speculate what is inappropriate, but I'm just saying this is not. Oh, boy, this is unfortunate. And who told the text? Who told on him and sent the text? Did the lady send the lady
Perhaps
set
probably
him up
reported
and
to
set him
HR
up?
or something like
yes,
that.
he had to have went and he was set up.
Yeah,
This smells set up, but you can't. But we can't do anything because we all know, all of us that again have a oof. This is an extra oof here in the grand sense of oofing.
Oof.
But it's like
oof.
You can't do anything. Even if you wanted to, I wouldn't care what you would want to do, especially in today's society. We're never getting any break on any of this in any form or fashion. And Skipper has to really know. It's just these positions. It doesn't matter where we're at, like anywhere where it's almost like you're kind of out in the front somehow. And like people are looking at it. Now, for some strange reason, what might be the problem as a society is that we all are hell-bent on making an imaginary standard that people of public consideration should be afforded, if that makes sense, in an automatic way. And whether you, and I'm not just attaching it to whatever you categorize as celebrity or this or that. It could be anything affluent. It doesn't matter. Again, the small business owner, you still hope when you go there that the manager of the establishment, the business owner of the small mom and pop, what have you, is someone that is of the highest integral perspective or certainly demonstration. This is what we like to believe. We all feel like there's like this invisible sort of merit, but invisible merit system that doesn't exist. It's weird because you want to hold people because it's the places where we apply it and say, well, the skipper says, it's not the standard I uphold. Well, no, none of that probably stopped you from sending that. I suspect what I think it is, especially because it's real quick. It's just, it might have not necessarily been words. I don't know. We all know because some of these cats out here do this, Josh. They'll,
You mean like send pictures of their
anatomies and all this kind of stuff can go
Brett
on,
Favre.
and we don't know. We just speculate. We don't know. We're trying to think to ourselves what can get somebody where it's boom as soon as where they don't even want to talk, because that now all of that sounds like we cannot believe we're getting ready to have to find a new head of the baseball team. Because I'm not, it's rough, man. I don't want to look, man, we're men, and this doesn't excuse things and don't want to make it in the wrong context. But boy, I'm just saying the nature. See, I'm a person who I don't get with this. I don't know how you all keep wanting to play monogamy palace, and that's where the problem kind of begins. Now, if that's what you want to do, and nobody begrudges a man for strictly being focused on his wife in every single way possible that a man can focus on a woman and deal with that and build with that, because you're going to act like it says, oh no, don't get married, and we don't want to be in something that looks like the traditional perspective. I bring it up because I'm thinking about Mike Vrabel right now. I'm thinking about, again, obviously here we have Skipper here locally now. We have this incident of something involving, because I'm going to assume that the text is sent to some, female coworker of some type, where again, she's probably gone to the administrative body and said, hey, what's up? I don't know, because I don't know how else this would get to the point where it reaches us and these ramifications that we're seeing here. So in any of these cases, a lot of it, though, still at its core, it's strange how the common denominator keeps being the nature just of man, because people, species, humans, mammals don't stop being attracted to other mammals just because you selected one that you want to kind of build your actual life with, and because you have other preferences and enjoyment vehicles, whatever, right? And everyone has the right to do that. We don't know. We losing them fast. We don't know. This might not be the same next year. But at this point, we still believe in any event that you can do that. How did I get over here from this? Because at its core, the judgment comes at the idea that now he doesn't represent these ideals or whatever. You know what was hard enough to represent? The ideas of this losing ass ball club is what was hard to represent that. I need to send a pic somewhere or something, a memo, an inappropriate remark somewhere. Obviously, I can't talk about the punk asses out here in the infield. Can't talk to these boys about nothing, clearly, because the ball keeps getting past that. How come it's never that? But we'll do this. We'll fire the whole man. Life got to go. Family got to move. We all up out of the 419 now. It's all of this. Because this could have been discussed different and just said, hey, what is this really going on here? But any other place, something other type of style of infraction, you can get to a therapeutic zone and they'll help you recoup, because that too reflects on the company. So the company can look like it's caring, and nobody really cares about anything right here other than not looking like we endorse chicanery. And I'm sorry, update everybody who can hear it, all 16 of you. Everywhere is chicanery. Every flipping everywhere and everything is chicanous. This man has lost his job. And I'm not saying, no, Skipper, that was silly. There's no, come on, Skipper. You know what I'm saying? Come on. There's nothing we can even help you. We're not even hating on you. We just don't understand what it was the blackout that quick. You couldn't, and it's always, we don't understand because we don't know. We relate to people. We don't know why we go on the road we go, because I don't want to get there. That's what we shouldn't do with people. You don't know what exchanges went on with folks And then the whole bottom line is, though, it's just sad because it falls under a jurisdiction that says we got some rule that makes it appear as though this is what we represent. And clearly you don't. You don't. That's over there at the arena. That's all of you. So you see, you try to discard, but the skipper was the captain, face of the thing. Now he's the disgrace of the thing? To the extent that, I'm sorry. It's too much. It's other sides of that. We're not just going to say Mr. Alvarez is we just going to kick. We had him in high esteem. And all he really was, like Coach Vrabel, is a man. I bet it probably wasn't that. It was nothing that they might not have said. I don't know. If you want to talk on the Sally Jesse and why it ain't what's up at the house, that's whatever, man. But we're losing jobs. We're losing lives. We're losing all things that people might have acquired, accrued, and established because of a lapse. Now, I'm talking about in a fraction of a moment, any of us. When we get looking around here, this is absurd, man. And again, we're still not saying, Mr. Alvarez, sir, if I was your nephew or someone, your son or somebody, I'd just be like, Dad, come on, man. You already know. It's not nothing. Whatever you did, if you did it, then stand on it, Dad, because you're not getting away with it. They weren't going to let you. There's no sense in getting on, talking about apologize, and I represent this and that. Nah, tell that part. Let that be for Mom or whatever he does. I don't know Mr. Alvarez's situation and what's going on in his home, what have you. But whatever, man. This kind of thing is too much. Or if you say, excuse me, last thing, because we can break, because I went over where I wanted to go, Josh. I'm so sorry on the ring the bell. Butler, my bad. We're going to get it and regroup it. We got Monty, patient, waiting. But at the end of the day, man, we got groups, even of people, if you refer to things a certain way, that's your whole thing. It's a wrap. This can't be okay. The way we living it and doing it, we can't live like that, man. If that doesn't bother you overall, then, why bother with any of it? And what is the discussion really about? It's the fastest $1.20. Sometimes it can veer, but I don't feel it. Like I said, I don't know that this had to be to this extreme and the fact that it had to get in a public square. This could have been internal and regroup. Y'all lie about everything else simply. They'll be lying tonight about something the officials would do to make somebody lose some money. Sit tight, man. We come back, though. It's the first hour.
Want wagers that win? Weekdays will walk you to the window. Tune into Best Bets on Black and White Sports, 4 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Incident free at this time on your Thursday commute. If you're seeing anything we're not, let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
Looking for a good deal? Mama Mary's Pizza will give you 20% off any online order when you use the promo code BUCK20. That's BUCK and the number 20. We know sometimes you're just too tired to make dinner. Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy and easy on your wallet. There's something for mom, dad, and the kids. New York style, authentic, thin crust pizza, salads, subs, pastas, and more. Get 20% off at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just click menu, then deals, then $1.20. Mama Mary's Pizza in Holland on Airport and Holloway.
We're living in a time when people need to be smart with their money, which means making the right choice, especially.
You want some boiled peanuts? What is a boiled peanut?
Make this Mother's Day unforgettable at Northwood Jewelers. Now is the perfect time to find a gift that is just as unique as she is. Shop their signature Kelly Waters and LaFon collections, where all birthstone jewelry is buy two, get one free. Or give her a flower that lasts forever with a gold-dipped rose starting at just $79. Northwood Jewelers will be open Saturday, May 9th from 10 until 3, so celebrate Mom this Mother's Day. 3 generations of expertise. Northwood Jewelers, 4612 Woodville Road. Service before, during, and after the sale.
Black and White Sports.
You can't be a man if you can't take the because men get over in life, brother. The men don't get their flowers till they're in the casket in the graveyard. Real men have never been patted on the back. They don't get congratulated. The basketball players do, but the who get up, go to work every day, make the sacrifices that you made to get over to make sure. Damn, you ain't celebrating. We laugh at them and broke down their cars and trucks. Life is about losing, man. You'll lose your hair, you'll lose your teeth, you'll lose your sight, you'll lose your mother. So you better learn how to lose like a man and bite down and don't cry to nobody about what you're going through. Every folk you got over. Look at the divorce courts.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Thoughts of Practice Thursday. We are in here, Black and White Sports. My bad, man. We went off. I didn't mean to take off in the Ring the Bell segment. Skipper Alvarez out, as you guys know. That whole thing, Hessman in. All of that because of, it's just, in my opinion, we could have dealt with that internally. And if we have some other further violations or some other, suggestive energy down the wrong path, then maybe we look at the highest extreme of consequence, and that is not to excuse any violations that could be deemed of an egregious nature, because obviously we don't have that. It was wild enough getting a mention on it, so clearly they probably were hoping it hadn't gotten public, so somebody was very deliberate and determined to do that, and that is the sad and salacious part that the people like to get going repeatedly. Yeah. But that's where we went with that. So I'm gonna go ahead, Josh. What were you going to say?
I was about to say, all I have to say is kind of really struck a nerve with anyone.
It's just weird. Like, it's just too much that has to happen for something that is this exactly how we needed to deal with this? But whatever. Okay, there it is. It's done. They've done it. And here we are. Now the reality is what it is. But we're going to talk about some other realities. And I didn't necessarily want to get into that with Matt. Later on, we talked to Matt Melzak here at the top of the hour. Welcome back to Black and White Sports. It is the fastest $1.20 in sports. I am Andre of the Savages. That was Josh Burnham you heard. Shortly, you will be hearing Monty Features in this conversation. But that's what we did. Quick scores, Josh, just to finish Ring the Bell real quickly. Anthony Butler, our apologies there. 419-407-0880. Give him a call. 5-star Google rating. Know that. And soon, the grand reopening. Don't forget. Okay. Josh, real quick. So we got Guardians. Let me get Guardians. Just quick scores, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah,
so
that's
Guardians.
right. Guardians beat the Royals last night 3-1, and
okay.
And they're in action today. Bottom of the 7th. The Guardians are up 8-4.
All right, and
moving right along, the Tigers took the other L. 4-0 to the Red Sox. They got swept in their home series against the Bostonians.
Yeah, energy crazy there. Going to talk to Matt about all of this here in a moment, too. So it's all in there, everybody. Like, this is just wild. I don't know what the sort out is on that, but then we just going to go ahead and move the skipper. Okay.
And the Reds lose another one in extra innings, 7-6 last night, and they're playing right now. They're losing, surprise, surprise, 8-1 to the Cubs at the friendly confines.
Okay, and there that is. All right. Well, as I mentioned, all calls and guests brought to you by Bellamere Suites Wake Up Call Line. He's none other than our low post thread around here, Black and White Sports, Mr. Monty Features. DJ Impress, what's going on today, sir? How are you?
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about text messages, huh? Not a call. Text messages. Not
a direct meeting. Not a direct.
not a face to face that I took time out of my day to do. We talking about text messages.
Oh.
No.
The Detroit Tigers had to get involved in all of this. Really?
Hey man,
we got Terry Scuba, we got platelets moving around in the elbow, and we got this going on, and this is what they want to do, and we need pictures. Man, we go, like I said, I gotta talk to Matt here in a minute, man. Because
man, Patrice O'Neal, he's a comedian. If you don't know who he is. Man, when he talk about grizzly bears working with fish, bro, it is hilarious. You got to watch Elephant in the Room, man. You got to check it out.
And I feel like I know where he's going there when I think about it. But it's just like, look, and I don't want to condone, lampoonish behavior where it doesn't belong. And I'm a champion lampooner. Let it be known. But I'm saying, man, it's not like we want to necessarily clear that, because on some level we all got to start getting at each other, man. All men, doesn't matter what type of man, where are you coming from,
Right.
what section, right? And stop some of this foolishness, because we're out here and we look very sissified, you know what I mean, in different ways. I'm not saying this situation necessarily, but sometimes there are times where if you just look at it inherently, that's just that man being cavemanlistic, and let's let it be that and deal with it from there. Is there another way we could have somehow been able to facilitate a more effective opportunity to grow from here and get a better communicative palette? Not and somebody might say, we should have had that anyway. Yeah, maybe we should have, and we should have did a lot of stuff, but I just wonder sometimes, is everything this way now? It's just all, you know what I'm saying? It looks a certain way. That's just that. It's over.
A lot of times people get jammed up because when you work in situations like that, ball clubs and all that, you spend a lot of time with people, jokes go back and forth, and then somebody take it just, a little, a joke is only as far as you can push it, right? It's only a joke until somebody gets offended, right? And so a lot of times, you again, not excusing no kind of crazy behavior at all. But sometimes, you think you can go a little bit,
you think
you think you have an understanding with somebody that they would take it as the same way that you intended it, and then it don't always work out that way. So
yeah, and that's the thing. And one thing you said in there, because here's the thing about the joke, and this one thing I like to say, because people always go with that. I'm just joking. I'm just playing. Right. But here's the thing about jokes, playing, comedians, the ones you really appreciate. You only love them because of the honesty.
right.
The joke's only a joke unless it's true. The thing is can you laugh at it? Sometimes when the joke is on us, we have to be able to laugh and say, you know what, my ears is a little Dumbo. Like, you got to be able to do that in life. You can't just be crying. You know damn well you see your damn ears since you was 6. And now that we say something in school, that cannot run you out of school. And now we got to get everybody disjointed, and the teacher and everybody. But see, people do these things early in life, and we send these wrong messages. And not saying that somebody should be attacked for their physical appearance, which they had no obvious control over how to construct. So that's another thing. But we're not necessarily, because that's what I'm saying. I don't like going down certain rabbit holes, but this is what I'm saying. Like you said, though, getting offended, we need to start getting a limit on what's the offended zone.
Right.
But that's everybody, it's unique, whatever, man. But like you said, Monty, whatever this person felt like, whatever Skipper sent, what have you. But see, that's somebody who wanted to do something to him. That's where I'm at with it now, because this didn't have. Why did this go to the furthest extent of everybody who could again evoke and certainly enlist punishment?
But though we as men have to be smarter too in this day and
that's
age.
what I'm saying.
We
Yeah,
have to
you're
be
right.
we have to be a lot smarter.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already know what it is, man. But there it is, Muddy and things. Like I said, I'll talk to Mel Zach later, but I'm not necessarily going there with Max. I don't really want to put him in that position, voice of the Mud Hens and of course the Walleye. So we got a few things to deal with today. We're gonna get to that, but that's why I put it here, because I don't really want to go there with him, man. But let me see what can we do here, Mike. This is where I wanted to go though with you today. So listen, we're on an anniversary here, and I don't know if you remember it.
Oh yes.
So I have a question from it though. Let's go ahead and share it, everybody. Like I said, it's a Thoughts of Practice Thursday. This is why we said it, everybody. Let us all look back to May 7th, 2002, and our good friend, the incredible, legendary, young Allen Iverson, when he had just been. Think about it. I remember when they said this on SportsCenter. He had just sort of restated and let the world know, he and Coach Brown, how solidified their relationship was, and all of that too was in the air. And then suddenly we had a press conference.
tell you that I miss practice. If a coach say I miss practice and y'all hear it, then that's that. I mean, I might have missed one practice this year, but if somebody say he doesn't come to practice, it can be one practice out of all the practices this year. That's enough. If I can't practice, I can't practice, man. If I'm hurt, I'm hurt. I mean, simple as that. It ain't about that. I mean, it's not about that at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's easy to talk about. It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, you know, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man. When you come in the arena and you see me play, don't you? You see me give everything I got, right? Absolutely. But we talking about practice right now. We talking about practice. Man, look, I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We talking about practice. How the hell can I make my teammates better by practicing?
It's great. Damn that. Give me that. That's Allen Iverson, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's how. See, we've gotten away from that. See, we don't have that anymore. First of all, okay, quick question. That's what I wanted to do with that. First and foremost, was he right?
Contextually, yes, he was right. The reason why I say that it was much deeper. What he was dealing with was much deeper than practice. He was dealing with a death, and he was dealing with what he felt like was betrayal, because he just came out and said, "Me and coach is cool. We didn't got together, whatever." And then you come in here and you like, wait, yeah, you say y'all cool, but coach said you missed practice. Wait a minute, I just talked to him in the locker room. He ain't saying nothing about practice. So what is we talking about? So contextually, yes, he was absolutely right. Like,
I couldn't help it. It keep making me laugh.
but it's the sound bite, bro.
I can't help it, man.
Because but you could hear how disgusted he was.
Yeah.
like what are we talking about? We talking about practice? Yeah.
And then, but we all know how he played, though.
Right.
Especially the way these boys play today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm saying. They killed me with that talk. I don't want to do necessarily the thing with the old man thing, but like, come on, man. Young dudes, some of y'all, you got to stop, man. Because again, nobody that I've seen today is dealing with that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of, you know what I mean? But when we start talking about people that was physical and playing the game deliberately physical, and I'm talking about perimeter players. I mean, the interior thing, it was a different beast. So just from that, you know, idealistic standpoint, I have a hard time relating to when people, you know, when they talk about stuff. So this guy, it was difficult because it's hard. Because like if you're a coach and there's nothing to ever want to endorse like non-participation in practice. You know what I'm saying? Right. Other than your inability physically to participate in practice. So, you know, but in his case, then you could still say, I could see how, especially then, people played 2 nights in a row. Expected. It was not even a question. So I'm not practicing today. If we about to have a walkthrough, run through, yeah, I'm going to sit over here and sit down because I'm getting ready to try to run. I'm already stiff. I'm sore. And it's going, once I get loose, yeah, I can go. You know what I'm saying? So that was heavy, but you're right. It was a Larry Brown thing. And Larry Brown trying to mess with him, man.
And wasn't no load management, no none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
they
you just had to lace them up and go, period. And
they wanted to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's a player that wanted to do that. That's why he was so disgusted too. Like, I'm not even saying I should not practice, everybody. I get that. You know, I'm there. I'm supposed to do this and that. But sometimes I'm just not on it. I'm beat up. I guess maybe he should have said that more and just said, look, sometimes it's just because of that. I'm there. I don't ever miss practice. You know what I mean? Now, maybe that's it. Now, AI, you know, when he's just not showing up and stuff like that, because you can't do that. Any sort of thing that suggests where I'm kind of separating from the team, like in general, well, that's going to be hard to sell, you know, even to your guys in the locker room.
And that's what I say. And at that point, he was also fighting for his reputation because, you know, they was trying to make him out to be like this bad guy. And he like, no, man, I'm at practice. I missed one practice all year. I'm at practice. But you just seen how I played yesterday. I took on 3 or 4 defenders. I'm hitting the ground every other play. And, you know, let the second string person have practice a little bit. I mean, I get in there when they need me, but let me calm my body down a little bit.
And it's hard to make it. We get it, everybody, in the grand scheme. But once again, we're talking about the professional level. Now, we had heard a college player say this. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure you can sell that in that web today. You're about to be able to today. That's what they do. All right. We'll come back, man. One final time, Monty. We're going to break it real quick and get in here and say a couple of things about the NBA last night. And again, Matt Melzak, top of the hour. Fastest buck 20 in sports. It's a Thursday. Thoughts of practice. We got to practice. Josh, that's what I'm saying. You got to be here. We got to practice.
Yeah, we're talking about practice.
Absolutely.
From the sidelines to the headlines, this is Black and White Sports with the one and only Andre of the Savages on 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
A quiet, smooth commute at this time on your Thursday ride. If you're seeing anything we're not, let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now, traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
This hour is brought to you by Dunn Chevrolet. Dunn is your SUV superstore. Trailblazer, Trax, Equinox, Blazer, Traverse, Tahoe, and Suburban. We have every size SUV. Find yours at DunnChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Drivers auto with money and time. Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
And youth apparel.
Oak Harbor Golf Club, a scenic 18-hole championship course built on the banks of the Portage River, has been a premier golf facility since 1964. Oak Harbor Golf Club is a great destination for bachelor parties, located just 20 minutes from the Jet Express dock. So get your buddies, get together, and play around before you head over to the islands to celebrate. Make sure you stop by the Village Grill and Patio to check out food and beverage specials before you hit the course. Now under new management, find your next tee time today at oakharborgolfclub.com.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, but you don't have to. The 24K Life created by financial performance coach Derek Gant, giving you high achievers the system to master money, mindset, and success. Are you ready to rise? Visit 24klife.org. Live 24K.
Black and white sports.
Somebody to play with you, like, okay, well, it's cool. I don't go looking for nobody, but whenever I see you, we're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to answer those questions, and the way you answer those questions is the way I'm going to deal with you.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Final time before we get out of here on the Halftime Express. Hour number 1. It's a Thoughts of Practice Thursday anniversary. Allen Iverson's famous rant, one of the iconic moments in sports. So we had to celebrate that. Monty Features is here. Josh Burnham as well. Come to you live from the Cumulus Media Campus, South Glass City. We continue. 877-909-1007. Shouts out to my people, man. Facebook Live. Appreciate you guys in here, man. Yep. Rick, now that was crazy, man. Just Iverson being in that position. But, you know, the way it was still, you know, you spin it around. And if you want to use it for exactly what you want to use it for, it was one of those moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, however you choose to see it, I feel like, you know, it's one of those things where it like reveals, you know, I hate saying it because I really believe it to be true, man. There are certain things that we all can, because I don't get into this political thing because people fight about their beliefs. And if you have voted for this person or that person, then it's time to not be neighbors. And, you know, to the extent that we're not being family, all this other thing, that's pretty wild that we're at that place where that's a real thing. But to the extent that, again, a person cannot just somehow selectively and compartmentalize just that characteristic or that ideal or something and just say, hey, I'm not with that. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that's cool. Or, you know, but over here, you know, I do think it's times where somebody, you might have to smack a cat in his forehead, and I feel like that's appropriate. The universe condone this. Messing it up for the entire class. We can't have this guy. You have to smack him back sometimes, man, because he's deliberate, and whether he is being psychotic or intentionally or be through no fault of his own, then either way, there end up being repercussions. Nonetheless, I get it. Isolated incidents. But overall, sometimes you can pick something, Monty, that's kind of just tells you're effed up. Effed up in the head, effed up with your whole style, whatever your stance is, and we actually should be leery of you. You know what I'm saying? With pretty much all the rest of your stuff. I feel like there are people on the Michael Jackson. I think it's kind of for me to tell. I can kind of tell what people are based on how they feel. But nonetheless, there are certain things in life where, you know, sometimes I think, man, it's a reveal in that lane. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Telling thing, but it is unfortunate though that now we're in a place where you can just totally say, I'm dismissing these people, this group, this idea, this anything, and I'm separating because they believe somehow not exactly in line with what I thought, even if we learned that I wasn't thinking correctly. That's the funny part. Find out you wasn't right.
We lost the melting pot of America. The whole concept of America is everybody can be different but still get along. And then somehow we got into a point where if you don't agree with what I agree with, you automatically bad, and I'm always right and you always wrong, and you got to be open for dialogue on both ways and learning, because somebody's perspective can open up something in you that you didn't realize. So
and just the avenue to be open for that, like you said, once we get it understood, we don't like it, and it's not what we think. What I get concerned about, what should be concerning to the people, is this idea that we're assessing significance to your claim. Like, you not only did you not see what I was liking you to see, you a bum because of it.
Right.
Your life is less appropriate than mine. You know what I'm saying? This gets really heavy. It gets content. This is what's making people, when the lash outs come, a lot of times it's because the audacity behind things where you like,
Right.
it's not enough to say, I'm spitting on your shoe. No, I want to spit on it and I want you to wipe it in to the fact.
Right.
It's like, whoa, you know, but it's deep. Sorry, everybody. We didn't mean to get on the Sherry Shepherd. That wasn't exactly where we were going. Right? And before I get you out of here and press, listen, man. Anything though, real quick, last night wasn't a lot. I just felt like it kind of held the form. NBA side, Knicks 2-0, Spurs, Timberwolves 1-1. Any comments, man, you want to leave us with and tell us who you like tonight, man? Even though we didn't get to do too much rapping on it.
Yeah, I was expecting Wemby to have a better, not that he had a bad game, but I thought I was expecting him to have a more dominant game. So I know that's coming in the future. So, you know, that I think they're in good shape. Tonight, I want to go with the Cavs so bad. I do. I want to so bad. And because I don't believe that Harden will play, you know, the erroneous basketball that he played the other day. And if you take out a few of those plays from that game, then, you know, the Cavs have a chance to win. But they are the Cavs, and you can never, you can't bet on it. But I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going Cavs and OKC.
I know, man, quit hating. That's all right. Tonight is the night. This is the one tonight. I know. I'm glad. I want everybody. Josh, you too. Take OKC. Remember how I was acting the other day? I'm getting ready to start acting like that in hour number 2. That's where I'm going. Impress. I appreciate you, brother. Good job today, sir. All right.
All right.
We'll
All
talk
right,
to
bro.
you tomorrow. Get back at it. Indeed. Okay. We get into hour number 2. Matt Melzak will join the program, ladies and gentlemen, and we like that. We got a few things going on. Of course, you know, we postseason walleye, but again, we have a very serious situation involving the Detroit Tigers. And of course, that affects us here at Fifth Third. We'll do that with the big dog, right? Voice of the Hens and walleye at 5:05. Black and White Sports continues. It is a Thoughts of Practice Thursday.
His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus Media.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
noise, and too much going on? Grab a club and get out of it. Head just down the road to Ottawa Lake, Michigan, where the range is open and the fairways run wide. No pressure. Just pull in, grab a bucket, and step up. The driving range is ready. Nothing in your way. Just set your feet, grip it, and let it fly. Good contact. Open air. And when you've got it dialed in, take it out on the course. Again and again. 45 holes, 3 courses, all right here in Whiteford Valley. Whiteford Valley Golf Club, your hometown course since 1968. And we'll see you out here.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even high earners, over 60%, have under $1,000 saved. But a new money move is making way. Welcome to the 24K Life, created by financial performance coach Derek Gant. The 24K Life is where high achievers master their money, sharpen their mindset, building unshakable confidence and wealth. If you're done with the survival mind and are ready to thrive, visit 24klife.org. The 24K Life. Be your best. Get the best. Leave nothing to chance.
Black and White Sports, as we continue, it's the Thoughts of Practice. Thursday, everybody. And thoughts of practicing, helping our community is a thought we might have on this Thursday. And when thinking about the type of thoughts that tell us we've been thinking about helping our community by assisting homes across Ohio and parts of Michigan stay connected for less than they ever thought possible. Well, in this effort, we execute alongside, in conjunction with, and in association with Rocket Internet. It's an exclusive offer, everybody, available right now, offering 600 megabits per second for only $9.99 per month, or 1 gig for $19.99 per month. This is a no-brainer if I do say so myself. Thank you. Both plans include Wi-Fi equipment, unlimited data, no contract, and a 3-year price guarantee. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 5673-ROCKET to check availability and sign up. Rocket Internet is a prepaid internet service. Professional installation is required and a one-time activation fee applies. Offer subject to change or may be canceled without notice. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 5673-ROCKET for full details.
Welcome back to Black and White Sports with Sav Sinclair.
Good afternoon. My name is Montgomery Blair Sibley. I'm the attorney for Sinclair. First, the National Press Club rents space. They do not condone or endorse the views of the people who rent the space. And as a result, he's allowed to get up and say what he wants to say. Mr. Sinclair is going to make a brief statement. You will be provided copies of that statement once he's done. And after that statement, he will entertain any reasonable questions and try to answer them. The procedure for doing that will be this microphone, because we're being recorded and we want to make sure your questions are recorded.
Our number 2 fastest $1.20 in sports is called Black and White Sports on this Thursday afternoon. Sun actually working with us. So we appreciate the weather quotient of all this. I mean, it's still a little bit, I don't know, slight chill, I guess. Not completely on the warm side, but something relevant. Good day, everybody. 877-909-1007 if you want to get in touch with us on the Belvedere Suites wake-up call line. But it is hour 2, and therefore, we have begun the traffic portion of the program, and that is the Mama Mary's official lane. Yes, home of authentic New York style thin crust pizza. Are you looking for a good deal? Mama Mary's Pizza will certainly provide one with a 20% off offer for anything you do online when you use the promo code BUCK20. That's BUCK, the number 20. MamaMarysPizza.com. We understand. Sometimes you're too tired to make dinner. Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy, people. It's a no-brainer again, and easy on the wallet. So mom, dad, kids, everybody taken care of. It's New York style, thin crust pizza. Oh no, salads, subs, pastas, more. It's not really a confinement, okay? We understand there's variety even in your house. Get 20% off at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just click menu, then click deals, then $1.20. Mama Mary's Pizza in Holland on Airport and Holloway. All right, let's roll. As I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, it is informative class in session moment. We look forward to it each Thursday, especially at this time, postseason time, ECHL, of course. But no, people. We have to begin today in a different framework, but we certainly must be cordially correct and welcome our man in here. He's the big dog. He's the voice of the Toledo Walleye and the Toledo Mud Hens. He is none other than the one and only Mr. Matt Melzak. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are we?
A little better every day, Matt. It's just that, listen, we got problems here with respect to our major league considerations. And it looks like we are in an SOS place. And I told you, sir, we would talk a little bit of baseball here to open up today. Because, Matt, listen, when I'm thinking to myself, of course, news of Scooble, we understand that. Obviously, Verlander, that deal now seems crazy. It's so easy to poo-poo that thing under these circumstances. Again, Gibson Long, that situation. Now we have that happening. That's going on here. So I got to get to you with respect to that. Put Troy Melton in this thing because you got a rehab assignment happening here. Casey Mize. So it's just despair and destruction all about with regard to these arms. You have a front row seat. Yes, they'll say next man up, but that doesn't really seem genuine with respect to logic, Mr. Melzak. I'm wondering, is there anything we can do? Because it's a very difficult task, I would imagine, trying to win games in the international, but yet expected to perhaps provide some form of relief that doesn't seem really possible, to do within the organization. Please help me out, though. Provide some clarity around here.
Well, this is why you build depth through your organization, right? I mean, you look at that injuries are going to happen, and actually, I was remarking with some of the staff here for the Hens, a couple of days ago that, man, it felt like that first 3 to 4 weeks there was nothing. There was no player movement. We had the same roster.
Yeah.
It was hardly anything that would happen. Maybe an arm here and there, relief side. If somebody threw too much, they would send him down and, get a fresh arm up there. But, for the most part, they were running a pretty healthy squad. And then all of a sudden, it was like a waterfall of injuries. And what ends up happening is they come in waves a lot, right? And so we're getting the wave right now of a bunch of injuries for Detroit. And the key is, are any of them actual season-ending injuries? Even in Scooble's case, sounds like his was very minor on the surgery side of it. Minor as quote-unquote, that he might be back in a couple of months instead of 3 to 4.
Right.
Which is good news. So then, Casey Mize won't be that long, with that groin issue. And the shame for him is he was pitching so well when it happened. But it's one of those where this is why you build depth, and this is why you have the minor leagues, and this is why you have a place like Toledo where you can keep, developing guys. Ty Madden went up there and pitched okay for him the other day. Obviously, Cater Montero started the year with us, and now he's pitching every 5 days in the rotation there. This is why you build depth, right? This is the whole reason why you do it. You build depth so that if you do have injuries, you can withstand for the time that is necessary. The key is, as long as you don't have a lot of season-ending injuries, you can survive long enough to hopefully stay in it. And then when those guys are healthy, then you can make that push.
And talking to Matt Melzak here, voice of the Mud Hens. Matt, so I guess, what do guys do that are obviously, around the camp right now? If you are an arm here, you're a young guy in this situation, I guess you're looking at it like, it's the golden space of opportunity, right?
It really is. And you're always looking at getting better anyway. But every pitcher I've talked to down here over the last couple of years, and even in my time going back into the, 10 plus years where I've been around the ball club, there's always that I need to get better every day. They're not going to tell you, hey, there's a sense of urgency now. There's a million injuries. I really want to try to stand out. you keep doing your job every day, you're going to be rewarded. And I look at, right now with the struggles they've had with Javi Baez getting hurt and some of the infield side of it, and a guy like Gage Workman who continues to hit and continues to hit, and he's, sixth in the International League right now in batting average and sixth in stolen bases, and he's up there in OPS. He's hitting over 400 in his last 10, and he's fielding it very well as a shortstop. He's giving himself an opportunity for them to be, maybe we should give him an opportunity at the big league level. So, you have to always be ready to go because you never know when that call up's going to be. So even if there is a lot of injuries, maybe you're not the guy who gets the call this time, but you might be the guy who gets the call the next time. So you have to always be ready, and you have to plan that you're going to get that call at any point, especially when you're in AAA. You better be ready to roll every day.
Now, Matt Melzak here with us, everybody. Voice of the Mud Hens. Talk walleye here in a moment because people, sometimes you're just too tired to make dinner, and Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy and easy on your wallet. Matt, you should know this too. You're a family guy. You know the kids. I know they like this. This will be good for you, right? So there's something for you and the wife. Again, the kids. New York style thin crust pizza, Matt. Salads, subs, pasta, and more. And get this. Get fly on them. Give them a call whenever you do it, or actually online, mamamarie'spizza.com, and enter the promo code BUCK20 and save 20% off your order whenever you do that. But I'll get something together for you, Matt. Because you're a big dog, so I call Frank.
All right, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, make some of
I do have the family. The second one is pushing some teeth through. You guys got to see her last week, so little
Yes.
Bailey. So
Oh, yeah.
she's popping
That's
some
right.
teeth now. So we're getting close to that time. But
you go.
yeah, certainly looking forward to that part of it.
Absolutely. It's very family friendly. Keep that in mind, everybody. mamamarie'spizza.com. All right, Matt Melzak with us. Okay, Matt, so we continue now. Let me shift gears. Okay, so now here we come. Okay, back to the action and postseason at hand, ECHL. Now, Sunday, we get into this. Now, Matt, we know doggone well. I had to dig a little bit further, and I kind of knew this because I've been seeing the pattern over the last few years, but I'm realizing now that the walleye comet situation is one of the deepest in minor league hockey, period. Okay, so knowing that and knowing that they are always a thorn in the side of the walleye, sir, this is going to be, again, as it always is in terms of the competitive space. But I wonder, Matt, this is what I start thinking about as soon as we got to this, and I almost felt, Fort Wayne is going to be on the other side of this thing. But the Bison pushing us to a couple of extra games in this last round to try to close them out. And I wonder if there's a concern at all, just by you, again, from your scope on the team and your perspective, if there was the physical, the emotional energy in trying to close these guys out, and could that be of detriment to us here in this series, or has it just only thickened the playoff skin here and the needed face to get into what we know we got to get into with these Fort Wayne boys?
I think it's an interesting question on your part, Andre, but I will tell you this. I actually think with the way the schedule goes, the fact that we don't play until Sunday, I think the extra games actually might have been helpful, because if you had ended this thing in 4, it would have been last Wednesday. So you would have been looking at 11 days in between games. Oh, actually almost 12, really.
Right.
When you're looking at it, that would have been between games. And, much like, baseball, which, I'm about to do tonight, that, there's almost a problem where it's too much, that rest versus rust. And I think sometimes you could get a little rusty, get off your game a little bit by maybe having those couple extra games and playing on Sunday at the Huntington Center. Now you're just a week, and teams are used to that. And by the way, Fort Wayne also won Sunday to move on from their series. So I think just Toledo's played an extra game than Fort Wayne, but I don't think that matters all that much. So I think this is actually probably better for them that they had to play the extra game and got pushed a little bit. And that's always nice to have that, reminder of what the playoffs are like, and that teams, you're never going to push somebody right over the edge immediately, and you have to play and play all the way through the series to make sure that you win it. And that's a good reminder because I guarantee you right now, Fort Wayne's going to push you very hard in this series.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talking to Matt Melzak, everybody. So, Matt, now knowing the way that you know the Walleye way and their mode of operation, I wonder what you're thinking has to be a perhaps flawless part of their game to beat these guys, because you start talking about the familiarity and all the rest of that, and of course, just the genuine energy of all of this, the stakes and all these other things, Matt. But again, we got to buckle down here. We got to skate. We got to make plays. So what in your perspective says this game or this part of the game may need to be flawless to deal with these guys?
I think this series, when you look at the way these two teams matched up during the regular season, they were a goal apart. I mean, they were close all the way throughout. Yes, Toledo did win 5 of the 9 games, but they were very close games for the majority of it. There was the outlier, when Fort Wayne got a gift that Toledo was ending a 4-5, and Fort Wayne had the night off the night before, and Toledo had to travel in, and they beat them 5-0. That's really the outlier of the entire season series. And that was, obviously that was kind of one of those where the schedule kind of gave them a victory. But these two teams are so identical. They play very similar styles. They're very good in the transition game. They're going to hurt you if you turn the pucks over, and they're going to score goals. I think the X factors to me is going to be the netminders and whose goaltender makes some big time saves at certain points of games when they need it. And to me, it'll be the special teams as well. These two teams were 1-2 in the playoff or in the regular season in power play. And they were very good against each other. They were almost identical against each other during the regular season. So if one of those can get hot for either side, if Toledo's power play gets hot in this series, they're probably going to win the series. If it's Fort Wayne's, they're probably going to win the series. It's just such a very similar group both ways that I think this is going to be a very difficult series to predict or to tell what's going to really happen.
One and only Matt Melzak. Josh, you hear that? You ready to roll, Josh? Are you
Yeah.
going to get in on any of this series this time?
See if I can scrounge up a ticket for one of the possible 2-3 home games. That's
yes, sir.
Kind of like the format they have, which is 1-1, 2, and then 2, or something like that.
It's 1-1-1, 2-2 because of the way the series and the buildings were, for both buildings to try to fit this series in. And I don't know who that benefits. I really don't. But I think the telling side of this series is going to be games 3, 4, and 5 because it's next Thursday, a week from today, is game 3 in Fort Wayne. Then game 4 is Friday night in Toledo. Game 5 is Saturday night in Toledo. So you got a 3-3 mixed in there between these two teams. That might determine the series next weekend. It'll be very interesting.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. I know you got work to do tonight, man. We certainly appreciate it every time. He is the one and only Matt Melzak, everybody. Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, guys. We'll chat again next week, probably on my drive to Fort Wayne, all right?
All right, man. Looking forward to it. Thank you. All right, everybody. It is hour number 2. Mama Mary's Mozzarella Minutes wrapping up. MamaMary'sPizza.com. 20% off.
Clear.
$1.20.
Clear.
Home
Colin, what's up, brother?
tonight. Implore.
Holy
Sit tight.
Moses.
More black and white.
Sports,
All I do
raw,
is
calibrated, unfiltered. You're listening to Black and White Sports with Andrea the Savage.
For a good deal, Mama Mary's Pizza will give you 20% off any online order when you use the promo code BUCK20. That's BUCK and the number 20. We know sometimes you're just too tired to make dinner. Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy and easy on your wallet. There's something for mom, dad, and the kids. New York style, authentic, thin crust pizza, salads, subs, pastas, and more. Get 20% off at MamaMary'sPizza.com. Just click menu, then deals, then $1.20. Mama Mary's Pizza in Holland on Airport and Holloway.
It's a speed on the track, bitch.
public courses around. The greens are faster, smoother, and rolling better than ever. And it's back. The Beer Tab Open, Saturday, August 15th. A 3-club, 4-person scramble, and we supply the clubs. Persimmon driver, 7-iron, wedge, and putter. Each team gets 24 beers, and every beer you drink is a stroke off your score. $75 per player or $300 per team includes skins and prizes. 21 and over. Call now. 734-854-4909. Father's Day is coming. Give Dad the gift of golf this year. Crooked Creek Golf Course. God bless America.
I'm 23. I get to do it a whole bunch of times. I'm hurt more so for myself for Mike. I came up short for Mike.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
You see, that's how they still are. They do it for Mike, Josh. That's why, like, Mike is still playing. You see why he's still the guy. It's for Mike Conley. That was Ant-Man there.
Yep.
Talking about Mike. He felt bad because you want to win because Mike has been playing as long as LeBron.
It feels like that Mike Conley's been playing since the other Mike.
Yeah. You might be right. Damn. Welcome back in here. It's a Thursday, Black and White. Thank you, Matt Melzak, for rocking with us always. Again, he blessed it once again. Now we're up to speed. We know where we're at now. Because if you've been paying attention, you realize the Tiger situation is horrid. We are in a flux and free fall to nowhere right now with respect to people that are paid to try to strike out the batters on the other team. We're in a really serious jam. And the thing about it, it actually extends to here in the third dereliction. We are here in a real quandary. And it's early, Josh. I mean, I guess it will get better, but when?
That's the deal you make when you're a minor league team, because whenever the parent club has injuries or issues, they pick you apart for reinforcements, and you have to scramble from the other lower minor league teams like the Eries and the West Michigans of the world for their reinforcements. It's like the Crows are picking each other apart like a pyramid.
It's not looking great, but thank you to Matt. Sort of trying to shed a little light on things and perhaps, where do we turn at this juncture, right? Mud Hens in a very difficult state currently. But then there is the walleye. And next series with these Fort Wayne boys, and you guys know how this will go.
Yeah, I mean,
it's getting ready to get real.
Yeah, speaking back to the Mud Hens, I remember like years ago when I used to do like Hens game with Jim Weber when I ran the board. There was one season that after we won the International League West Division, we really collapsed near the end because the Tigers have called up so many of our players. We had to get guys from the rec center to fill our lineup out.
Detriment, SOS mode. I get that. Worked out.
Yeah, worked out. And because in 2005, we won the Governor's Cup.
I recall. I was a part of the coverage. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, BCSN.
Bing. Oh, I'm sorry. They erased it. They tried to act like it didn't.
Yeah.
It's Black and White Sports on this Thursday, 877-909-1007. We appreciate you being here. 1007theticket.com is also how they're doing it state to state. And we hear that's cooking around. Listen Live tab is what they're doing. And, of course, YouTube, Savvy Television, we got that going on. So, yeah, but I guess we probably should say something about some NBA playoffs or something tonight, Josh. Try to make some bets. Again, did I go over the fact that yesterday we were certainly at least 3-4?
Yeah.
There's no question about that. We should probably involve the San Sizzle. Probably a good time to add him, huh? You think?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if he's all giddy up for the cadavers tonight, or will they drop another deuce, as one would say, in the middle of the Rocket Arena.
Well, let's check it out. He's Andy Sanzata. All guests and calls brought to you by the Bellamere Suites Wake Up Call Line. Andy Sanzata, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Oh boy. So real quick though, just a quick note. I don't know, maybe you have a comment, maybe you don't. And just, what could you say? We were just talking to Matt Melzak a moment ago and the Tiger situation, obviously, you know what I mean? Because I had to go today, I had to shift gears. I got him today. I hit a pivot on him. He wasn't ready. I went to the baseball. The people weren't. They didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't take it serious. I'm serious with this. Josh even. He's still looking like, what? How did you really? Josh, I'm on top of it. So anyway, it's death and destruction in the Motor City, as you know. Arm after arm after from Schoolboy. Again, the Verlander thing looks crazy at this point now. Anybody on that now based on the circumstances. Casey Mize. Again, we got guys in Toledo with issues. You know what I'm saying, with arms and anything. So I don't know if you've been following the situation at all, but there could be no end. I don't know when this would end. What do you do when you are actually kind of depleted at the farm level as well? I guess it's still kind of kind of put it that way. We grasping for straws. We're saying to guys, listen, the guys that are around, wherever they come from, this is your shot. This is basically the attitude. I got this. If I get a shot to go, we're going. And this is a chance for me to plug in from guys who didn't necessarily have a realistic shot anytime soon. It's here now.
Well, the Guardians have had success with that. If you look at, the last couple of years, their young pitching staff has carried them to the division title. I don't know that Detroit has that type of depth, though. But the Mud Hens, have a lot going on right now, not just with having to.
Yeah, we talked about. I didn't go there with him, but we did it beforehand, so I didn't have to do that with him. I didn't want to take him.
With the managerial situation and everything like that. The only solace, Sav, is that it's the beginning of the season and not the end of the season. So there's still time left for these guys to get healthy and make a run. I don't see Cleveland or Kansas City or even Chicago running away with this division while these guys are out. So that's not something they have to be concerned about. If they can stay within 5 to 10 games by the All-Star break, once everybody starts coming back, they'll be fine. You just have to hope Cleveland or Kansas City doesn't go on a run of 10 or 12 in a row to where they get some distance. And then that puts you behind the 8 ball a little bit. But I don't foresee that happening, not with what I've seen from Cleveland. They just beat Kansas City today to split that series 2-2. Those two teams are very similar. Nothing to be scared about, as far as taking the division while they're going through all those injuries. But, injuries happen. It's a part of sports. We talk about it all the time. The unfortunate thing for the Tigers is it's happening at the same position over and over again. And that's where it becomes a little difficult. They've got a good general manager. He might go out and see what the market is for a pitcher. If he believes that all they need is an arm or two to get them through this period of time, then, it might be worth a prospect or two to, if you still think you can get in the playoffs and potentially win a World Series. So those are the tough decisions. That's why they're in those positions, and we're here just speculating on what they're going to do. But it's an unfortunate situation. I would like to see everybody healthy and see the Cleveland and Detroit just going at it for the division. And you can't really count out Kansas City because they've got some young talent like Bobby Witt and Caglione and the guy at first that played in the Olympics. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, Pastor Zelli or something like that. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So we'll see what happens. But it's just unfortunate. But the benefit is it's happening early, and they can still get through it, and they can still hang in there as long as they're not playing the meat of their schedule while this is happening.
Andy says out in here is Black and White Sports on this Thursday. All right, yep. Mud Hen Woes, and you guys know it well. Again, along with the Tiger, again, early season we'll call it a bridge to pivot. That's all. That's all it'll be later. Like you said, we'll pivot later on.
Pascantino, that's the guy. That's the first baseman for the Royals. Pascantino. But
got you.
Yeah.
Nice recovery there. Okay, here we go with the NBA transition here, real quick. So here we're back at it tonight, Andy. Real quick first, any comments? I don't know what you would say, but I want to give everybody the opportunity. Knicks, Philly, anything, and then of course San Antonio, Minnesota. But it was part of last night's success, if any, the 9.5 points San Antonio delivers there. But the Knicks 2 going up 0-2. 2-0. I don't know that there's necessarily a shock, even though the game certainly much closer. And again, Philly looking a little bit more imposing for most of it, but at the end of it, again, Knicks making plays, but they also lose OG Anunoby, we think, and could be some problematicness moving forward in that department as well.
Yeah, tight hamstring. That's going to be hard to play through. He might be out for the rest of this series. But the Knicks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I still think this series isn't over, though, even though I say that the Knicks are going to win. I think Philly's got a lot of fight in them, and when they go home, they'll be galvanized by the crowd. They might get Embiid back. That could make a difference in terms of matchups. But you got to give a lot of credit to Karl Anthony Towns, Seth. He's playing really well right now. He's balancing out his game. I think he had 20, 10, and 7 last night. That's what you need from him for them to be successful, and for Jalen Brunson not have to do it all. And then you had Bridges chipping in there in the fourth quarter as well. That's the formula for them to be successful. So I just think that, looking around at Philly last night, Maxey was just gassed. He was completely gassed and had nothing left because he played nearly the entire game. And Paul George was being Paul George in the fourth quarter. So that's what that came down to.
Yeah, they'll be heard from. Now, I wouldn't get too caught up in the, like I said, the impressions of the last game. So that brings us into tonight. And again, your guys back on deck. I think Monty ended up taking Cleveland, even though he did it reluctantly, which we understand and we know difficulty trusting either outfit here. But you kind of just say, okay, game 2 in Detroit. Detroit maybe wins because of that. I'm having a hard time allowing myself to believe it, though. And I think we're overdoing the condemnation of the Cavs as much as I have issue with some things. But overall, no, man. I just think people need to be careful right here because, once again, I'm still trying to keep a bettor's mind and, again, a non-regretter's mind. And having said that, Cleveland's going to play better, a lot better. Now, does that mean that there will be some sort of catastrophic turnaround where it will look a lot different? I don't know that, other than guys will make some shots, I would imagine. And again, James Harden, we would certainly like to believe he would be acutely and ultra aware of care of the basketball. I have to, if nothing else, I've got to believe that. I don't know if it's a big scoring night. I don't know what else it'll be, but I have to think James Harden, we can't have more than 3 turnovers today. How is that?
No, I would agree with that. And Mitchell's got to get to the line tonight, Sev. Whether it's the officials or whether it's him, being more aggressive, driving the ball, he's got to get to the free throw line. It seems to put him in a better rhythm when he can slow things down by making his free throws. And he's leading the Cavs in free throw percentage in the playoffs at 88%. So plus, you will see, I think, some calls go Cleveland's way because of the disparity of the last game. If you look at the free throw numbers. So for those reasons, you could lean the Cavs, but they just have not looked comfortable on the road this entire playoffs. I think they go down 0-2, and they've got to get back on track at home. I hate to say that about my team. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but I just can't, in confidence, until they show me that they can get it done on the road, pick them, until maybe Game 7 or Game 5 or something like that. But tonight, I'd look for Detroit to understand the magnitude magnitude of this game as well, because they don't want to go back to Cleveland down or tied 1-1 because of how well the Cavs play at home. Because they could be looking at a 3-1 deficit just like they were against Orlando like that. So for those reasons, I think Detroit wins tonight.
I think I agree. Talking to Andy Sands out of here. All right, Black and White Sports on this Thursday. Cavs, Pistons ready to get down again, game 2 tonight. And like I say, man, I tend to agree with you, but I'm going to go against myself here and I'm going to play the odds of Cleveland, like you said, because of the woes on the road and all of the conversation that we have been having just in the space of, we shouldn't have confidence in these guys. And it's always strange to me because, there were sections and times where we would have sold and been very confident in the description of why Cleveland should be more dangerous or at least more viable in the space of the contendership. And it's funny now that because it seems like a distant memory, it's almost a lethargic prospect to imagine these guys putting together a hell of a game tonight in Detroit.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And one you can be proud of, Sandman,
if you compare this team to the 2016 team, right? That team had no problem in the Eastern Conference getting to the NBA Finals. They just had to come back down 3-1. So I haven't seen that from this version of the Cavs. Looking at this team on paper, Sav, when you look at the Knicks and you look at the 76ers and you look at the Pistons, the Cavs should be in the NBA Finals. They are the better team overall in terms of depth, in terms of talent, in my opinion. But they just haven't been able to put it together. And, I think that they were 1-2 against the Knicks. The Knicks are not that great of a matchup. But I think if they get there, if they could somehow just win this series and get there, then you'll see the best version of them we've been waiting to see all season. But they're going to have to get there first. And Detroit's not just going to hand it to them. They're going to have to earn it.
No, tonight will be good, though. I just think tonight, I'm going to go Cavs tonight, everybody. I really am. I think so. I didn't want to. I didn't know what I was going to do. And, I didn't really want to get involved. But I think tonight I'm going to roll with I'm going to go money line with these boys, too. I mean, we could do the 3.5 for Black and White show purposes. And, again, because I don't like misleading the people and sending them into dark spaces and alleys where they could get robbed. I don't want to do that. So, having said that, we could do the 3.5 with Cleveland. I think they play better than well, Andy. I think, and to be honest, I think you get the full complement everywhere on the floor. I think you're going to get Allen, Mobley. I think you get Harden with care, basketball. I think you get aggressive.
There's
Donovan Mitchell that you're waiting for.
Well, you need them because there's a concern that nobody's really talking about, externally, but internally, Sam Merrill is not 100% right now, and it's not his wrist, it's not his hand. It's his hamstring. And when you're a shooter that shoots the ball with such a quick release, everything's in your jump shot. Everything's in your legs to get that jump shot off so quickly. So that could be something to keep an eye on tonight. We'll see how effective he is, if indeed he can play. The media hasn't talked about it at all the way they talked about Anunoby. But maybe it's not as serious as Anunoby's. But it was a concern at practice the other day. He was limping. So that would be a massive, massive difference in the series if Sam Merrill is not healthy because he's their best shooter.
Well, let's look forward to hearing. We've got to check this lineup because if I hear he's out, then I love Cleveland even more. If you tell me that and there's a possibility he may not play and it's going to matter, and he's important to the overall rhythm of things in general, then I'm going to love Cleveland even more. But we got the Sandman in here, everybody. And we've got one on deck tonight, NHL. We had a couple last night, so we'll do that final wrap up here and make the picks, get out of here on this Thursday. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. It's called Black and White Sports, 877-909-1007, 100.7. That's ESPN here in the Glass City. All right, it's the ticket. Black and White Sports. We'll be back. Final time.
Black and White Sports with Andre of the Savages on 100.7 The Ticket.
This hour is brought to you by Dunn Chevrolet. Want to know the best way to make a new vehicle affordable? Lease it. When you lease, you get a new vehicle every 2 to 3 years, you're always under warranty, and your payments and maintenance costs are lower. Find yours at DunnChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Ace of Spade on the track, bitch.
I'm calling you. You told me I didn't need a permit.
Sweet barbecue chicken or their award-winning Mediterranean pizza. Find your nearest Vito's Pizza and order tonight at Vitos.com.
There's my all-star.
I had the game-winning hit.
Careful, buddy.
Sorry, Dad.
Accidents can steal life's biggest moments. At KNR, we help you move forward and hold on to what matters most. When you're hurt in a car, you call KNR.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
The blessing with me is I never have a bad intention. It's always for a reason. If the truth is involved, then I'm not even allowed to be worried. What would I be worried about? It's those that traffic in falsehoods that got to worry about me, because I'll say something. You see?
Right.
So you don't be scared of your own dog.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket.
All right, final time before we get out of here. Black and White Sports, thank you guys for being with us today. We do it every day, 4 to 6 p.m. Our good friend Andy Sanzada is here. He's live in Cleveland, Ohio, everybody. Rocket alum and so forth, just like Josh. Sitting up here looking at Coach Jacobs. We should get Coach Jacobs on, Josh, especially when guys are new to the community. That's our big chance.
Yeah,
You have to forge a relationship, you know.
Mommy boy. I mean,
Yeah,
just
he's home.
right
He
across.
returns home. We like it.
Yeah, right across the turnpike.
I'm just thinking, sorry, it was just up on the screen, you know. That was going on here. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to get out of here. And like I said, one quick thing, Andy, I mean, we could have gone there before the break. I just figure, you know, you're not going to want to say anything about the Laker game. I don't know. What do you want to say? There's nothing to say. Waste of time. If everybody's, why even turn on? Why bother?
Well, instead of me making a comment about tonight, let me ask you this. Did you see Ric Flair's post about Luka?
No, I did not.
Okay, he basically said, get your ass on the floor, you're a baby, take a shot of cortisone, and go play basketball.
And I get you, Flair. And maybe if it were that, but I think we're just not being told. Like I was saying, I think it's a tear. I just think it's torn. It was a wrap back then.
Yeah.
I think we're playing this game for the betters, that somehow the Lakers might be some, you know, he could return if they're. I don't know. Like, I don't want to go and start to speculate and do all of that necessarily. I'm just saying, for me, I have kind of put it and placed it out of my mind. I'm just trying to deal with it in the reality, what can happen in real life and the people who are playing. And all I need to not happen is Marcus Smart shoot 15 daggone times. That's all.
Yeah.
That's that. I don't really give a damn about anything else because I'm going back to Austin Reeves. I'm putting 25 plus on the deck. It's on the floor right now. Let's understand. We're going again, right back with the LeBron triple-double. If I see the number and it's right, we're doing that too. And if the Lakers lose the game, I'm still going to feel like it's a series win for them, even though I won't feel as much vigor in saying it. But I'm just telling you, you know, we'll see what it is, though, in L.A. I still think it's a 1-1 situation going back. I just had the game wrong. That's all. I just had the game wrong, thinking game one would be an obvious choice. It was too obvious. Tonight, hop and lock. This is where the people look confused. What happened? Oh, by the way, because they didn't win, we don't get to talk about how no one really would have mentioned that I was spot on with the defensive plan from Coach Reddick and how we would throw people at young SGA from different areas and things. There were even some turnover issues and you know, some things happening there. I was very excited until, you know, the wheels fell off. I thought I was really going to get to come in and gloat. I just, you know, I thought I was going to have a real day at it, but it's okay.
I look for it to be a close game, but I mean, Oklahoma City hasn't lost this postseason, so until that changes, you've got to roll with them. Like I said, I think this is a short series. They get it in 5.
Not mad at that. Right now, all intents and purposes, looks like that's the situation. Lakers in trouble. 15.5 is the line again, everybody. Money line still a plus 600 or better. So another opportunity for a big splash if, in fact, the Lakers and the King can put something together. But okay, let's jump back to the Stanley Cup. As I said, we're going to finish it up with that. Last night, sir, we'll congratulate you. Sabres in a impressive victory at home over the Canadiens. And then I get to gloat about those mighty Ducks. And you like that, Vegas. So take that. That's shout out to my man, Comic Raj. You already know he was salty. Vegas. He the only cat I know like I like that too. He's a guy traveling to Vegas for the game, like from Toledo.
Oh, yeah.
Home game.
Well, Steve Taylor's a Golden Knights fan too. He's got.
But Steve, he's not at the game. No, like I'm telling you, Rods will pop up at the game. Like, seriously, just be at the thing and then back at the Funny Bone, just in the kitchen, you know, just in the kitchen like that. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So shout out to that.
Listen, Buffalo did what I said they had to do last night on last night's show. They had to score early. They had to keep the crowd in it, and they had to get some distance between them and Montreal. They did that. I did not like the way they played the third period. Alex Lyons saved them. From going to overtime multiple times in that third period. I thought they sat back on the lead way too much. They had one shot on goal in the third, Sam. That you can't do that to your goaltender. You've got to be more aggressive with the 2-goal lead, especially at home. So that was the only downfall to me. But this team has a lot of skill. They have a lot of speed, and they're going against a rookie goaltender in Dobesh. So, the Sabres have a lot of success when they get rolling early, and that's what they did last night. So I was very, very happy with the result. But like I said, this is going to be a long series. Let's not get too excited just yet. So we'll take it. It's a good start, 1-0. Defend home ice tomorrow night and go up 2-0. I'll be a little bit more excited. But Montreal has every capability of tying this thing up, going back to Montreal up in Quebec. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but we'll take game 1. And, Anaheim with a good win on the road, tying that series. They finally got goaltending from Lucas Dostal last night, and that's what's been missing for them. They have a lot of skill, Lacombe and Granlund and Kreider, and the Carlson brothers and everything. They have a lot of skill. They were not getting the goaltending. How many times, you've known me for over 20 years, how many times have I said goaltending is everything in the NHL playoffs every year for the Stanley Cup? You've got to have a goalie. That's why the Red Wings aren't in the playoffs. They didn't have a goalie all season.
Damn, it had to fall back on hockey time. See that, Josh? The whole thing just ruins. Boy.
Same thing with Columbus, but we'll throw that in there too.
Yeah, one of these days,
drop it on the Red Wings.
I'm thinking that the reason why the Red Wings have missed the playoffs like 10 straight years is because it's like karma payback for the Wings making the playoffs for like 25, 26 straight years.
No, it has everything to do with Steve Yzerman's energy around that organization after he retired. I think he should leave Detroit and let somebody else run that team. I think he's running it the wrong way. He was not successful in Tampa Bay as their general manager either. That's why he got fired. I think Detroit hired him because of the lore of Steve Yzerman, but he's not a good general manager. And I think they need to make a change, and that's where it starts.
So in other words, he sold them a bill of goods based on the illusion he did in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but tonight, Sav, I think
not an illusion. Go ahead.
I think Philly gets back into the series tonight. Carolina hasn't lost in the playoffs. They're overdue to lose, and Philly's a better team at home. And they took them to overtime in game 2. So Philly tonight for sure.
Thank you, Andy. He's right, ladies and gentlemen. And look at that. Now I feel very good about it because Andy's been on fire. And anytime I went against him, I'm the one tripping. Not going to do it today. Looks like we're on the same page. Also, too, I like the under in this thing, under 5.5 on this. As a result, I think it's tighter, though, because, again, Carolina does that. You're not going to do a bunch of goals. I don't know if they're going up here.
No,
you know what I mean?
They play a lot more of a faster open ice style game at home. They play more of a defensive checking game on the road because they have to protect the leads more and things like that. So I think it's smart to go under 5.5 tonight.
All right, and before we hit these NBA looks on the way out the door, let me thank my good friends at the Bassett Nut Company. Yes, formerly Rachel Michaels Gourmet Popcorn. You guys know that. On Monroe Street. Also, Powell's Beauty Supply, 901 Nebraska Avenue. And, of course, Consignment Home Interiors. Change your decor without spending more. 6925 West Central. Thank you to all my friends and all of the corporations, sponsors, businesses, small, large, what have you, that allow us to do our thing every day, 4 to 6 p.m. Fastest buck 20 in sports. Call Black and White Sports. For Andy Sanzada, for Monty Features, for Matt Melzak, for Josh Burnham. I am Andre of the Savages on the way out of here. So what we do tonight, like I said, give me these doggone Cavs plus the 3.5 for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and rock the money line with it. We like the over 215.5 as well. Lakers, I'm right back with it. 15.5 for you. I'll go with the plus 600. We're going to go ahead and ride or die with it one more time. I think we go back to LA 1-1, and we'll do the over on that as well, 210.5. See how we do tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Sam, man, appreciate you. All right, everybody, on a Friday, it'll be a lot to do, man. We got to go into this weekend, and there is some smoke there, as you know, playoffs, NHL, NBA. Be kind, be respectful, be nice, never cheat on your wife, but always handle your business today.
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
His store and more, the Man Superstore